Some of you probably know that I do like photography and obviously making these videos. For that I have a bunch of camera gear with me that I usually carry in my One Provoke. Sometimes I want to carry a little bit of a smaller bag and not as much equipment. For that, these two bags might be the perfect choice, or at least are very interesting. And with that in mind, I wanted to give you a quick look of these two bags, one from Expedition Units and one from Tactical Geek. Okay, before we start, please keep in mind, this is a first impressions / quick look. That means I intentionally did not inform myself about these products or their features because I want to give you the most honest first impressions as possible. Meaning, I don't know anything about this bag, therefore I can give you the most honest opinion how intuitive these products actually are. And furthermore, please keep in mind that no matter if I do a first impressions, quick look or a review, I will intentionally nitpick because I believe that you can better evaluate if you can live or work around those negatives, those flaws, those drawbacks, because not all of these negatives will apply to all of you. So me nitpicking will just ensure that all of you or anyone can kind of evaluate, oh, that might apply to me, or you might say, oh, that doesn't apply to me. So it will be nitpicking, but that is by intention, and that does not mean that the product is bad or negative. I would just want to lay out all of the potential flaws. And I feel like most of the positives you will gather from the product page anyway. So with that out of the way, let's take a quick look at these two bags. And because I need to showcase how I load some of my equipment inside, I only have this one camera, so the DJI Pocket 3. I will turn it over to the other side, and more importantly, I will give you a very honest, non-edited first impression. So I will just kind of point the camera on the two bags. I will not edit that segment, so you can follow along how my first impressions of these bags will be. Alright, so now let's take a look at these two bags. These have in common that these both are sling bags. So this is the Expedition Unit Project M23 5 liters, and this is the Tactical Geek L3 Pro sling bag. Both have in common that they have an included camera cube inside, so they are predominantly intended for camera gear. However, you can take out those camera cubes inside and make them a regular sling bag basically. And I do like when bags are multi-purpose. Let's start maybe with the Expedition units, because maybe you have seen my review about the backpack. I did like Expedition unit, that was the 8020 backpack, quite a lot, because it was a waterproof backpack. And just like the backpack, this is a waterproof bag as well. But in order to make it as waterproof as possible, you need to kind of roll it up as tightly as possible and then secure it this way. So this is actually a great solution if you get into rain or into some of dangerous elements, just to keep it safe. I actually considered that to kind of attach this to my motorcycle, so I always have like a rainproof bag on my motorcycle. I do like that you have a couple of attachment points here and here as well. So it is easy, or it would be easy to kind of attach it to my motorcycle. But obviously you can use it as a sling bag as well. What I do notice is that with the camera cube inside, it's actually not as easy to very securely kind of tighten it. Oh, although you can do it like this. You just need to tighten this strap as good as possible. And now, water cannot get inside. Let's open this up so you can look. Let me just check here. Yeah, you can still see it. There. So inside you have, that was actually the bag, the reusable, biodegradable bag that actually kept this. you have the strap. I didn't attach it. As I said, this is the first impressions, and let me just take out this camera cube. So this is the camera cube, a very basic one, but still good enough to keep your items secure. So you have 3 dividers. Let's just put something in here, for example. So this is the Lumix 12 to 35 2.8 micro four thirds camera, so lens. So it's not as big. And then let's take out at least one of these dividers so I can properly show it to you that I can fit my Fuji XM5, which is an APS-C camera. Put that in here. So, and then I would still have plenty of space. Let's see what else I have here. My mic set, the Sennheiser Profile Wireless 2. I actually did a review about this. You can check it in the info tab above. But that should, if I would organize this a little bit better. Let's say I have it like so, and then put this here and put this like so. Bam. So somehow like that. Then I could store this like so. But I mean, if I have a camera cube, I don't need to store it like that. So yeah, see, that's much better. So put that in here, like so. And then you actually have a fairly neat setup for a lens and camera. I do like that I can take this out and kind of store this in my backpack. I actually like this camera cube quite a lot. I feel like even if I wouldn't utilize this, I will definitely utilize this camera cube actually. And then, before I put it in here, it's basically, because it is a waterproof bag, it's just a giant hole. Again, check out the backpack review where I kind of did a stress test with this bag to show that the 80-20 backpack is actually waterproof. And now I put it in here, roll it up tightly and secure the buckle, tighten this to make sure it's waterproof, and then everything is inside this waterproof sling bag. To be honest, the look is probably not the greatest in terms of using this on a regular day-to-day basis, because I feel like this is more of something that you attach to a car or a motorcycle, for example, but not necessarily looks-wise that I would carry around my shoulder. But if you are on an expedition, as the name implies, and you need to keep your equipment waterproof and safe, then this is a really good solution. And I love this gray color because since this is top loading, and I said that in the backpack review as well, the interior and because this needs to be as waterproof as possible and you want to reduce the stitching on it, so there is no points where water could get inside, there is no interior lining. So the outer fabric is basically the inner fabric as well. So if this would be a black fabric on the outside, it would be black on the inside as well. So having this gray means you have a bright gray in the inside as well. So I do like the color of this. But again, I rather consider this something that I would attach to a motorcycle, my car, or maybe my bicycle, but not necessarily something that I would use sling bag style. At least not in a regular sense. On an expedition, maybe that would be a little bit different. But yeah, that's the Expedition Unit M23. Let's take this out again. I mean, you can leave it inside. Let me just show it to you when it's inside and take out all of that items inside. So, okay, if the cube is inside, Let me see, can you still see it? If the cube is inside, you probably don't want to close up the zipper of the cube because it's not as easy to open the zipper. You can do it, but yeah, I would recommend maybe just leave the zipper of the cube open. So take out the camera, the Sennheiser profile mic set, and the extra lens. I don't own an extra Fuji lens yet, so I have to use this for example. Oh, by the way, inside this cube, I hope you can see this, there are some organizational slots, but they have no zipper, and this is not as strong to keep stuff in place. So if you, for example, utilize this space here for smaller items like batteries, they will fall out. So this is not a great place to store stuff. So I would really say don't store anything in here because batteries or maybe small SD cards will just fall out and then just be somewhere here at the bottom. So yeah, should have been zippers in my humble opinion. Now going over to the Tactical Geek L3 Pro. If you have seen one of my EDC videos, I will link it in the info tab above. You've seen the smaller sling bag that I used, the EDC version, and I really like that one. And yeah, I'm kind of curious about this. Although this is really big, especially with the camera cube inside, I don't usually like to have these big of sling bags because they tend to slide forward. Tactical Geek actually included stabilizing straps. So when this is on your shoulder, this keeps the bag in place. So that is really good. This shoulder strap is, in my humble opinion, a little bit too big and beefy. Yes, if you have camera gear in here and it will get heavier, this will take off a lot of the load from your shoulders. But this is really, for the lack of a better word, obnoxiously big and bulky. I haven't seen backpacks that are this bulky. Yes, this is a shoulder strap for a sling bag, so all of the weight will be just on one shoulder. But I would argue, don't load up this bag too heavily because I believe it can't be that healthy to have that much load on one shoulder for a long period of time. So instead of utilizing this big shoulder strap to kind of make it easier to carry heavy loads in this bag, I would rather say if it gets too heavy, then maybe go with a backpack instead and not kind of circumvent the weight with this. I mean, I understand where Tactical Geek is coming from. They want to make it as comfortable as possible for you, but this feels just way too big and for the lack of a better word, obnoxious, because this padding and this shoulder strap is even bigger than the bag itself in a way. So yeah, you can detach it, of course. You don't have to use it. But yeah, I feel like it's not that great. This top handle, I mean, if you would say, oh, you load up this heavy, so therefore you need a big shoulder strap, then I would have loved a better top handle that is not digging in your hands that much. Again, this is potentially for some of you a little bit nitpicking, but I feel like if there is the argument of, oh, this is so heavy, therefore we need to add a big, beefy shoulder strap because it will take off the load of your shoulders, then I feel like you also should have included a little bit better top handle. Especially if you want to carry it like this on a shooting day, you put the bag to the side, you probably don't have it all of the time on your shoulders. You go from one spot to the next, maybe you want to grab it quickly, then this, it's a little bit flimsy in my mind. On the back, you have some MOLLE attachment points and also some bungee cord if you, if you want to attach a tripod on here. Again, if you load it up with so much weight, then I don't know if you actually want to walk around with one-sided load distribution, or if it wouldn't be better just to go with a backpack instead. But yeah, that's just my personal opinion. Your mileage might vary. Then you have a zippered pocket here, maybe for valuables like your wallet, your passport or whatever, so it is close to your body. Then on the front, some more molded attachment points, Velcro. I do like that, so you can attach like here a small little patch that was included. Then another quick access zipper. I mean, this would be great to store like batteries or a filter that you need to grab quickly. Then going into the main pocket, I actually already installed the little camera cube that I will take out in just a second. So let's load it up. Let me check. Yeah, here. Camera in the middle, then the lens maybe here on the side. Mic set, Sennheiser mic set here. Let's just do it like quick. I mean, in this case, actually, I think this would actually fit with the case. By the way, I love this mic set. Check out my review about this. This is an amazing mic. So put that in. Oh, even with the pocket, this is so big, this would easily fit all of these items perfectly. So yeah, I mean, and this already gets a little bit heavier. To be fair, this bag overall in empty weight is a little bit heavier than the other one, just due to the size and this beefy strap. So again, something to keep in mind. If you actually load it up so fully that you need something to distribute the weight better on just one of your shoulders, I actually question if you should use this as a camera bag. If it gets so heavy, maybe just go with a backpack. That's just my opinion. So let's take this out so you can actually see this cube. This is actually a really cool design. There is a top closing thing, but I didn't attach it. So actually when you get it, it's kind of folded up like this, which I think is a genius idea. And then you kind of unfold it, and then you can decide, okay, do you want only one divider like so, or do you want two like so? And then you put it inside with these Velcro attachment points. Let's look inside the bag. Here you have the other side of the Velcro where the pouch, the cube is attached. And I do like that this is bright orange, so you can actually find stuff easier. You have 3 slots here, which could be great to organize smaller items, and compared to the other bag, you can be rest assured because these are very deep, nothing will kind of jump out. I mean, okay, when you're running and there is something small in here, there is the potential that it slides out. Yeah, just something to keep in mind. Overall, the build quality, this is not X-Pack, but this is some ripstop fabric. It looks really cool. I have to admit, I do dig the look of this bag. This looks cool, and I feel like without the camera cube, this is actually a really cool travel sling bag because you can fit so much items inside. I would detach this beefy shoulder strap to make it a little bit, yeah, less bulky and a little bit more streamlined. I probably would not need this stabilization strap. But yeah, I think overall this actually looks amazing. Both bags are really well made. I do like the waterproof feature of this one. I prefer the look of this one. But both bags are really valid alternatives if you want to carry around some camera gear. Again, personally, I would not overload these bags with too much camera gear because I just don't want them to be so heavy that they weigh on just one shoulder. I just cannot believe that having maybe, I don't know, 8 kilo, I'm over exaggerating. Imagine like 6 kilograms on just one shoulder for a whole day. That cannot be healthy. So if you kind of exceed a certain amount of kilograms, I would say just go with the backpack and put your camera gear inside the backpack. But if you're looking for a sling bag to carry camera gear, I do think these are valid options. Again, this not necessarily to carry as a sling bag, but I feel like this is great to attach to something else, or potentially use this as is, as a camera cube that you put in your regular backpack, just to be safe that even if you would get into rain, this cube would not get wet even though it is in your backpack. And this is great, although it to some degree might be a little bit too big and bulky, but I do like it. Again, this is the first impressions and first look. I will link all of these items in the description below. Those are affiliate links. With those you won't pay more, but you will support this channel with a small kickback off that sale. And if you do so, thank you very much. So yeah, first impressions, I do like these. Let me know in the comment section below what you think about these. And more importantly, if you carry around camera gear, I would love to know what is your limit of how much gear you can actually carry in the sling bag, or are you like me, you always carry your gear inside the backpack? I just wanted to know if you actually utilize one of these bags, messenger style bags for camera gear. Let me know in the comment section below. And yeah, like always, if you enjoyed this video and maybe you want to check out what's in my camera bag, check out the video up here. YouTube thinks that you like the video down here, and don't forget to subscribe by clicking the button up here. I see you in the next video. Thank you very much.